Good morning and welcome to day 8 of our 21-day self-healing challenge. Some time ago, I was on my way to daycare, dropping my son off. And right next to his daycare, I saw a family getting ready for their start of the day, school, daycare, work. They were a bit in a rush and I could feel some stress. Then something dropped on the back of the mother. And the scream that she let out, it was just completely bone chilling. It was a gentle drop of something not very big. It fell on her back and just the scream did not feel proportionate to the action of that moment. The scream felt like, oh, there was all this pent up stress and pent up anger and frustration that was coming out because there was just one thing that was a drop that made the bucket fall over. And I recognized this scream because the same thing had happened to me 2 days before, where I was getting out of bed and I hit my toe, not that hard. But at the moment I was going through some stress and just the scream that I just felt coming out of my throat, it contained so much more than just that simple toe hitting. We carry all these things in our bodies. Things happen, things come up, and we feel that there is no space to express that. So we just store it, forget about it, but it stays inside us. Again, draining that energy like we talked about yesterday with the guidelines, the anger, the worries. We store them in our bodies and they create an impact. It might be this mental, emotional thing, but it also ripples out to the physical body. And then when something happens in the physical body, something small like that, it just ripples out through the entire system and everything comes out like a volcano. It just bursts lava all over the place. Whew. So what can we do? Various things. But one of my favorite techniques to let go of energy, to release this energy, is to just take a moment every now and then when there's a lot happening and do some controlled anger release or some controlled frustration release. One of my favorite ways of doing this is sitting down with a pillow and just start punching it and screaming. And sometimes nothing happens and it's just fun because, it's movement and it gets things moving in your entire being. And sometimes there is something that I have stored in my body that just wants to release. So you can do something like that today. Any form of energy release. I've heard of people breaking pencils, play some upbeat or angry music even, and just dance it all out. But make sure you do something to help your body release energy, and to get it into movement, to get that body into movement. Because as soon as we do that, we already release a lot of blocks and a lot of stored up emotions. Even if we're not really working with those emotions, just by consciously being in the mode of expression, things get moving and things are released so that they are not in our system anymore when something small or big happens. Then we just have all the freedom to tackle that one thing that is happening right then without having to deal with all the stored up emotions from all the weeks before. And that just creates so much freedom and possibility. And the beautiful thing is, if you have done this release in whatever form you want to do this, you can add Reiki to it afterwards, because there has been energy released from your system, which means there is now space that we can fill up with new energy. You can obviously also fill this space back up with worries and fear. That's completely up to you. Or you release and then relax and receive this beautiful, light, loving, healing, natural energy that just brings you back to your calm, natural, and joyful states. that you truly are. So I wish you a lot of luck today, surrendering to your release and surrendering to your receiving. If you feel like it, maybe share your favorite way of releasing energy, releasing anger. What do you do normally when it comes up? And how did the screaming and the pillow punching feel for you? Sometimes if there are some things bubbling up too much and I haven't done an adequate release before, if necessary, um, I tell my son that this is what I'm going to do: scream in a pillow and punch it. And the last time he actually started joining me, not because he had anger that needed to come out, just because he thought I sounded like a lion and wanted to join in the safari. So maybe you can get some of your roommates, family members to join into the animal growling and groaning and make an entire jungle out of it. So have a lot of fun and enjoy the release.